This is Eric Davis with Let's Chop It Up. This is the space for real men, real conversation, real results. If you're a man who's been carrying a lot and does not feel he has a place to talk about it, you are in the right place. Listen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt tired? Seems like sleep just doesn't fix it. And that's a sign of burnout. I'm talking about the kind of tired. You're still showing up. You're still making it through the day. You're still handling your business. But something just does not feel right. That's what we're going to talk about today. The signs and how we deal with burnout. Burnout doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always look obvious. And that's the part that most people miss. Sometimes burnout looks like you being quieter than usual, less patient. You're more irritable over small matters. And sometimes you just feel like you're going through the motions. The thing is, you still feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to do. You just don't feel like yourself when you're doing them. That's because you've taken on strain and stress and have allowed yourself to get to a place where you cannot properly handle the things that you're dealing with. And so now, as we said, you're going through the motions. Here is the reality of it. Stopping does not feel like an option. People are depending on us. Bills do not stop. Responsibilities do not stop. And expectations surely do not stop. And even if we feel like stopping, we keep pushing. Because in our minds, slowing down means something might fall apart. You're not just thinking about yourself. You're also thinking about what happens if I don't show up. And on top of that, you don't want to disappoint anyone. So you tell yourself, I'll push through. I'll deal with it later. You tell yourself, I'll rest later. I'll deal with it when things calm down. But let me help you. Things never really calm down. This is where it gets real. Most men never talk about burnout. And the reason is because we really don't want people to think that we are complaining. And also, we feel like most people really will never understand. So we keep pushing and we carry it quietly. You can be overwhelmed and nobody around you even knows it, because on the outside, it looks like you're handling everything. For a lot of men, burnout means that they're slipping, that they lack discipline. So the response is, be more focused, be more disciplined, because burnout is not a discipline issue. It is a capacity issue. You're trying to carry too much for too long without resetting. Let me help encourage you. You are not weak. You are just overloaded and overwhelmed. And if you ignore it, it doesn't just go away. It builds up and it shows up somewhere. It can be in your temper, snapping at people, losing patience, and feeling disconnected. Or sometimes you just going through the motions and don't feel connected at all. You don't crash all at once. You slowly wear down. And that's the dangerous part, because it feels normal. All right, now it's time for our Chop It Up real question. These questions come from comments, messages, but they always come from real people dealing with real situations. Our question for this week is, how do I know if I'm burnt out or just tired? Here's the truth. If rest does not fix it, then it's deeper than just being tired. If you wake up tired, you stay tired during the day, and you go to sleep tired, then it's more than just a physical. That is emotional and mental. And that is something you cannot ignore forever. Now, here's the shift. Rest is not weakness. It's called maintenance. If you keep going and don't stop, eventually something's going to break down. It is the same with you. If you keep going and don't stop, your mind and your body will stop you. You don't need to shut everything down, but you do need to pay attention. Pay attention to what's been draining you, what's been wearing you out, and what is it that you have been ignoring. Because if you don't take a break, your mind and your body will force one. I am a witness to that. Let me ask you a question. What would you change if you took burnout seriously before it forced you to? Sit with that. Because most men don't address it until it's a problem that they cannot ignore. Hey, that's my time. If this conversation resonated with you, I need you to support this platform. Follow, like, share it with a brother that may need this conversation. And I also need you to meet me back for the next conversation on the next episode. This is Eric Davis with Let's Chop It Up. Real men, real conversation, real results. We'll chop it up with you soon. Peace.